Hello, everybody. Thank you for attending this special webinar about the ultimate EdTech solutions to enrich a student-centered learning environment. For me, it's an honor to host this webinar as a sales director in Europe, but not only because the topics that you're about to see are really trendy. I'm pretty sure that we'll offer ultimate solutions to enrich your online courses, but also to improve the recruitment within your institutions and to see different international courses and international programs that can also improve the learning program of your students. So let's introduce the guest speakers. Really good guest speaker, starting by my colleague, Teodora Popa. She's the head of EdTech department in Europe. The second guest speaker that we are honored to have today is Alessio Hagen. He's the Director in Government in Latin America of DEC Technologies, one of our partners. And the last guest speaker, but not the last, is Gina Gavilones, who is the President of Studee, another partners that we have an honor today to introduce. So having said that, let me explain briefly in these bullet points the key topics that we'll go through today. The first one will be conducted by my colleague Theo. She will explain how to design a student-centered learning environment based on automations. Secondly, my friend Alessio, he will explain how to encourage the development of global skills and prepare students for the next step. And finally, our friend Gina, she will explain how it's possible to support international students that want to start the academic journey abroad using the right guidance. After their presentations, I received an email from you concerned about your certificate. Don't worry about that. We'll send you a follow-up email with all the instructions to get your certificate. Okay, so it will be issued at the end of this webinar. And finally, you have Q&A sections in the Zoom bar. Please post all the questions that you have there, not in the chat, please, but in the question and answers part. And all of these questions will be addressed accordingly at the end of the speeches. So don't worry, we'll give you time enough to post all these questions and all of them will be solved at the end. So, well, for me, it's an honor to start introducing my colleague, Teodora. Hello, Theo, how are you?
Hi, Jose, I'm fine. How are you?
I let you to start with your presentation, okay? Let me start sharing mine, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So good evening, everyone, and good afternoon, or even good morning if you're from different parts of the world. So this is what technology does for us. It enables us to be part of the same webinar, even if we are from different parts of the world. So I'm going to share my screen to begin the first part of the webinar. So I hope that everybody can see my screen now. What we are going to discuss today is about how we can use automation in order to enrich a student-centered learning environment. First of all, just to present myself a bit, I am the EdTech specialist for Europe at Cypher Learning at the moment. What I do is support our clients with EdTech services such as training, instructional design, content migration, and helping the customers roll out their e-learning implementation plans. And during my working experience, I have also been a teacher and a learning and development specialist. I acted as a trainer for many years, and also I was a learning experience and tools designer. And that's an activity that really is a great passion of mine. So in designing the learning experiences, I really worked with a design thinking process that has the learner at heart. That's why it's very easy for me to talk from my experience about student-centered learning environments and why they are so good in our classrooms, and more specifically to talk about how automation can help us in enjoying the benefits of student-centered learning more. So we know that we live in a wonderful age, and this is the age of information and technology. And I strongly believe that us as instructors, we must stay innovative to use all of these advantages that the times we live in have to offer. So our interest is mainly to make the learning experience of our students more personalized, more unique, so they can feel more welcomed in the classroom, and also to make them grow up as self-confident person, to develop their soft skills. So we need to increase the quality and efficiency of our teaching. And here technology helps. We need to take our knowledge of the technology that we can use, of the subject matter, and also of teaching, because I bet most of you have experience. And we can facilitate better learning experience for our students by engaging all this. We can see that the professional world and the society in general continues to evolve and change, especially with the growth of technology. And to properly engage our student, we should be aware of the latest changes and the key factors that affect learning. So how we understand these trends can help us create more effective learning environments. I have these 6 global trends, which I believe are very important and that help us frame the new opportunity to fully adopt the student-centered learning. So the first of them, the growth of the technological capabilities, it really means that we have a variety of media and learning support tools that now exist to help the students receive a better education. The decreasing of the attention span, actually it means that we just have to have strong narrative and visuals when we design our courses. And also our role really changed over the years, and it evolves into a position where we really need to help students understand how to learn, to love learning, and also how to uncover and understand the information they find. More than that, classrooms should really teach self-learning skills so that the students can continue to learn and engage in their chosen fields. And about the mobile learning, I think we all know that the cell phones have become a part of our day-to-day life. And we can almost say that they are an extension of our body. We don't go anywhere without them. So I don't think this is a surprise for us that mobile learning is here to stay. And about the soft skills, according to a report from Future of Jobs, some of the most important skills in the workplace are now critical thinking, people management, creativity, and problem solving. So we really should start in school to prepare the students for their future careers by helping them grow in these skill areas. We have these 2 models. We have the classroom one, the older model, and the student-centered learning. And I think in most schools, these currently coexist. But actually a school model that doesn't follow the current trends, which is the classroom one, in which all the students are actually taught the same content at the same level, at the same pace, cannot really meet the needs of each student. So in order to be able to meet contemporary educational needs, schools need to change and actually adopt more of a student-centered approach. So in the student-centered classrooms, the use of digital devices is the norm. Active and adaptive learning is promoted. The students are taking responsibility for their own learning, and also collaboration is encouraged. So I believe that in brief, student-centered learning actually moves the students from the passive receivers of information to the active participants in their own discovery process. And the learner-centered education can meet the needs of the students and can prepare them better for a world that is very rapidly changing. I really like this quote by Albert Einstein because this was actually tens of years ago, but he already knew that teaching is not the best way to go. And here we are just talking about teaching in the classical sense of the word. And we know that our goal is actually to design very efficient learning experiences and do the best for our students. but the student-centered approach requires us to be more highly transparent, to have better open communication, and also to have a positive regard towards the students. So our role kind of shifted from the teaching ways from all times, and now we are more as coaches and also as mentors. And our main things would be to support the students in their search of relevant material, and to moderate discussions between our students, and to consult them in problem solving issues, and also in their seeking for solutions. And like I said before, we really should take our knowledge of the subject matter and of the teaching and technology to facilitate these experiences that would help the students learn better. Now, to make the connection with automation that really can enrich the student-centered learning, I have this quote by Susan Patrick, and she actually created this metaphor of a learning GPS. And I really think that this is the best way in which we can imagine how student-centered learning is enriched by automation. So as we transition to the student-centered approach, we should apply technology to boost the learning outcomes. And how we do that is by examining the strengths and the needs of each student. And we determine the strategies to help the student meet or even exceed the standards. So you can think of this as the actual map to a destination. So not all students are starting from the same location, so their routes may differ. It is our job to know the map and to know the student well enough to anticipate the roadblocks, and also to be able to determine alternate routes. And in most cases, the students have the same destination, like we have in our courses. They want to get the certificate with a high note, but how they get there, their milestones, and when they get there may vary from student to student. So a simple example that I have here about an automation model. And automation, you can think of it as a very simple process or a very complex one. But basically, it boils down to if-then. So when a condition is met, an action is triggered. And thinking about the learning GPS that we talked about in the last slide, just imagine that you give a quiz at the beginning of the course to all your students. And you just set up in your blueprint 2 categories. And if the student goes above 50% at the quiz, you allow them to go to the second lesson and to the next quizzes, because you know that they have the skills at a certain level. But if they get less than 50%, then you can create new content for them. You can require them to watch video, to do practice quizzes. And only after they showed that they gained the necessary skills, you let them go to the second lesson. So this is exactly what I was talking about with the map and each student taking a particular route, because we really want to help everyone, but it doesn't work at the same pace for all our students. So I would just like to ask you if you have an idea, the percent of each student, the percent, sorry, of your time that could be automated, the things that you are doing in teachers. So if you can just write in chat very, very quickly. So if you know what percent of your activities as a teacher could be automated. So I'm just going to wait a maximum of 10 seconds, not to waste our time. 75%, thank you, Monica. But actually, that would be pretty good, not to have all of these things that we are doing recurrently, and it takes a lot of our time. But actually, now is around 30% only. But studies say that until 2030, it will be at around 40%. So we have these benefits that automation can give us. It can free our mind to create, to coach, and to engage our students. It can save some time spent with grading. It can help us personalize the learning, and also sustains communication and collaboration. I really like the idea that using automation just because you do something at the beginning of the course, it's not the idea that you're not there for the student. Actually, it makes all the experience more personalized, and it really motivates the students to achieve more. So what we can notice, and I can tell you for a fact because I tried it, automation really supports the student-centered learning model for our classes. And what I want to do next is show you in practice some ideas that I have how we can apply automation. And in order to do that, I'm just going to present Neo, which is the learning management system that I'm using and that has a lot of automation features. Here you can create and manage learning experiences, you can assess students, you can track achievements and really create personalized learning experiences. So now for the more practical part of our webinar, I'm just going to take you to the platform and show you exactly in one of my courses how I can apply automation. So just a second to allow me to reshare my screen with the new information. So here, can you tell me if you can see the Neo platform? Yes, thank you very much. So this is the first page that you are seeing before actually logging in the platform. You can see that it looks very colorful, dynamic, but even after I log in, we have very good user experiences. Now I'm logged in as a teacher and as an administrator. So you can see I have this dashboard with a lot of useful information. I have the classes that I'm teaching. I have here a lot of tiles that offer me an overview of the learning management system. And everything is very colorful and dynamic, and I really like using this. But now we are going to focus on one of my courses, and this is the basic instructional design course. So when I'm clicking the course, it takes me to the course dashboard. And you can see that also here I have a lot of information at one click. So all of these widgets with the students that I have and how many are active, and all the lessons, assignments, and a lot of analytics about the grades are here in the front page. So it's very useful for me to have the information at just one click away. Also, you can see that I have here in my right part, the leaderboard for the game that I created for this course. So you're going to see how this looks. To go very fast in this part, I'm just going to show you that I have here in the left part an automation tab. And when I click here, I can see all the actions, automated actions that I've already set up for this course. So these are for enrollment. I can send messages, scan messages that every student receives. I can award points for the game that I created here. And also I can have completion actions. I can really enroll the students in new courses. So after they finish this one, the basic one, they can be automatically enrolled in the advanced one. So this means I have created the learning path for them, and I just set it up once for all of them. I don't need to redo everything again. Also here, I can add more actions. So for example, I can really add a certificate, because every student likes to receive a personalized certificate at the end of the course. So I can just set it up from before in the PDF, and I can save it. And when they are finishing the courses, they will automatically receive the PDF certificate here, and they can print it out. So you can see I have a lot of options that I can set up. Even for all of the lessons, I can really create badges and award points for the games that I created. Just to take you very fast through also the game that I have. So for example, I have here Instructional Design Legends. And when I click here, I have a very motivational introduction for the students to motivate them to go through my game in the course. I have some levels that I have set up. And also I have, through automated actions, added badges and points for their journey in the course. So they are really motivated to go to the next part. Also, I just want to show you my favorite part in automations. And this is the example with the models that I've showed you in the PowerPoint. So for example, I have here a mid-class test, which is a quiz, which is self-graded. So this is another automation that really helps you free your time. So I have just created the quiz here, and I have the option to set up some completion rules. So they will be awarded points. They will be shown an elective video content after they finish this one. And also I can add, for example, to-do items after they finish this quiz. And also I have score rules, which are so great. So the categories that I showed you before, here I created 3 of them, with the score less than 50%, between 50 and 80, and with a score of over 80%. So here, for each score that somebody receives, I have automated actions like sending notification, custom ones, adding them to groups. So for example, if they have a low score, I can add them to a support group to learn better. If I have a medium score, I just show them improving review test for improving their skills. And if they got a good score, I just give them a badge because I think they're okay with that part. So just to finish up, I'm going to show you in 1 minute how this will be seen from the student part. So I'm just going to log in as a student. Let's choose this one. And when the student goes to the course, he's going to see these automated actions. So he's logging in my course. And he can go through the lessons, and he will receive the points that I have set up for him. He can see all the content that I prepared here for him. And also he has the assignment parts. And here you can see that we have this test that I created, and he can take the quiz. I'm just going to go very fast just for you to see the notification that he receives. I'm going to try to not do good on this quiz. So I'm going to mark some wrong. So you will see that the student, after receiving 40%, will receive a pop-up with a notification. And this notification will tell him that he was included in a group, and also all the information, the support information that I have created for him. So this is all the information I have for you today. Our time was a bit short, but I'm really waiting for your questions. So if you have anything more that you would like to know or see about this part, we can discuss it at the end. So thank you very much. And Jose, I'm just going to give the mic back to you.
Thank you, Tio, for this impressive introduction to the concept of student-centered learning. And actually, as a teacher, I totally agree with the Einstein quote. I think that's the best. Always is not the easy, but I agree with Albert Einstein. And after that, let me introduce now it's the time for our friend Alessio. Nice to see you, Alessio. He will explain more about one of the services that has a partner he can offer you. Okay, all yours, Alessio.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alessio Hagen. Nice to meet you. Let me share my screen. Everybody can see it, right? Perfect. Yes, I just want to talk about the future of employment and the global skills that we think it's important that everybody in the university or student on online learning level they have. And I can start just with a small question here that I go to several universities in Latin America and some seminars that we have done in Asia. And we ask the students if they know what is TED. And a lot of times, some of these students are coming with several answers, no? Then like this one, no? And we need to tell them that it's not about TED, the bear in Hollywood, that it's about TED.com and how to use this kind of several keynotes and speakers around the globe to come to the school and make sure that teachers can start using this kind of material to start a learning on the school. Then instead of the teacher being an expert of everything, they can start the class using a keynote from TED.com and bringing a speaker for a daily classes in a different level, then we are going to make sure that we are going to deliver them the same a good material on the beginning from a global speaker, and making sure that we are having an expert of every topic invited into the classroom. No? And based on this, we have been talking in several projects in countries around the globe to improve education, but I will just make a comment on what we have learned from a very good TED Talk that we are not going to discuss it, but you can take a time of 20 minutes to see it by yourself. And it's a keynote about Sugata Mitra and about the future of learning and cloud education, as he called it. And I think it's important, and I have seen some questions here in the chat that they were asking what is the best way to start doing the learning and involving the students and all that. And the first thing I think is really challenging for learning. Something important for his keynote, he was putting the question for the students, not delivering the answer, and then try for the students to find themselves in the cloud with a lot of material and coming with an answer for that one. And also he invited several grandmas from UK. He put a newspaper advice asking for grandmothers that they could come and deliver English classes for students. And he got several hundreds of grandmothers trying to be for free delivering English classes for students around the globe, and he called it the Granny Cloud. And the important is how you can really have these kind of skills, and really how the teacher and the new model of education needs to become a mentor instead of a regular teacher, because at the end we need to flip the university and flip the classroom and making sure that everybody's coming to see the material, and then they can come to the class to really discuss what is the topic about. And I think on that, we need to use, to flip the university and flip the classroom, we need to use a platform where we can put all the material in advance for students to come and see what is going to be the class about it, and then come into the class to really make a discussion about that topic that we have been pre-discussing about that. And on that is the way and the reason, because we have been working with Cypher Learning to making sure that we can flip universities and flip high schools and really change the way that education is done, and really creating a platform of education with all the material and content in advance. No? And something important is about employment programs and dual model that we need to making sure that we can have. And we have had an agreement with edX that has been created by Harvard and MIT to making sure that how they could deliver the best content that they had on the creation of the model, and really train the next $1 billion of 1 billion students around the globe that really they can have the skills and capabilities, and probably they are in small towns around the globe that they don't have probably the best campus universities, but how they can really get this content. And they started from Harvard and MIT, but there are several European universities that have been part of it. And the point is how we can make sure that students in our educational programs can graduate from one of our universities in Spain or Italy or Czech Republic or Hungary, and then they can come with some global skills validated by some of these universities. And other programs that we have with them today is that they have something called MicroMaster. Then you can be in whatever country you are, and then taking a MicroMaster from your country. And if the university accepts you for a master degree, the first year that you have done remotely from your country is going to be revalidated. Then you just need to make the second year of the master degree in the physical university. No? Then if Harvard or MIT or Cambridge or any university is like launching a MicroMaster, you can take it in your country. You are going to have the global MicroMaster certification, and then you can come and finish the university level in the university, but having the first year based in your country. Then on this way, you can have 1,000 students taking a MicroMaster, and probably 10 of them going to finish a master in this campus of university. No? Then today, with the agreement that we have, we have more than 25 2,500 online courses from 140 universities and institutions around the globe. And based on this, we have integrated this for higher education agreements and high school agreements or technical school agreements in several countries. Then we have the Cypher Learning platform, the content from these global universities, and instead of the students be reading a book that probably has been written 20 or 30 years ago, they're going to have a class with a teacher that is delivering the class today. But also we have several Nobel Prizes in the platform that are delivering classes of economics or mathematics or medicine. And then at the end, you can have this kind of content for every student really delivering the same material. And just as an example, we have done in Mexico one program in the north of the country where the students can be the technical in automotive industry in one way, but also they can have the Kia Academy University ready. Then the students are going to come into the industry, probably getting dual salary or double of the salary of a normal student was getting before that, because 1 year of their studies are going to be done on what the industry is looking for on their real life. No, then I think on this way it's important on how we can integrate the capabilities of that way, and how we integrate with NEO, as Theo was mentioning before, how we're going to put all the classes from Kia Academy here for the students are going to have all the materials from the normal academy, but also from the industry academy or from edX Academy. And we can do this for several industries. And on this way, every student will have the capabilities for dual education when they finish the university or the technical institution they are doing for work. And I will show an example in a small video on our vision of on how we need to integrate if somebody is a student actuaria or something that is going to study statistics and how to use this into an insurance company, but also somebody is studying business administration and marketing, and how we need to integrate a project where everybody needs to create the future of one industry and be disruptive, and making sure that the students are ready for these kind of jobs in the future. Then I will share with you a video and stop talking for now.
No, it's just construction, that's all. No, I'm not driving.
Are you okay?
Yeah, you?
I'm good.
Oh, no, not you. Listen, I'm gonna have to call my agent.
Mr.
I'm gonna get
Burton?
right back to you.
Mr. Burton, this is Insure Corp. We've received sensor data that indicates you were in an accident. Are you injured in any way?
I'm not injured, no.
Is anyone else injured?
I don't believe so.
Okay, where's my agent's number?
We have pinpointed your location, and we are showing your car is not drivable. So we are dispatching an Uber car to take you to your destination.
That would be great.
I'm pressing 1. English. E-N-G-L-I, English.
May we give your coordinates to our appraiser drone to perform the appraisal?
Absolutely.
We have received the photos, assessed the damage, authorized the repair, selected a qualified repair facility, and have dispatched a tow truck to take your vehicle to that facility.
Perfect.
Yes, hi, this is... Yes, I'll hold.
We have looked up the other vehicle's insurance, transmitted the appropriate data to create the claim, and filed the California SR1 accident report. Can you confirm the information is correct on your phone, then hit the accept button?
I'll check it right now. Okay, all done.
Thank you. Your Uber car is arriving now.
Ah, I see it coming.
Accident, not payment, accident.
Your tow truck should be there now. Don't forget to leave your keys in the vehicle. Thank you for using Insure Corp, powered by Pivotal Labs.
Okay, as you could see here, it's important that on this way, we need to making sure that students need to be prepared for the future of this kind of work, how this kind of industry and insurance companies can be thoroughly changed by Internet of Things, by artificial intelligence, but several careers. But at the end, on the real life, we need to make sure that students from one career are going to work with another students from a different total career, and then everybody needs to come to really deliver a result for the company that they are working for, or the entrepreneurship company that they are creating with. Then I think it's very important for them to be prepared on these kind of skills that even it was a futuristic video that we have done like 5 years ago in Dell, today is more realistic than ever, what I already showed to you some minutes ago. Then I think on the conclusion side, I think it's important on how we really need to prepare the students to adapt into a very competitive environment. I think it's not enough just to finish a career. We need to make sure that students are for a long life learning preparation. But also when you finish the university, probably you are not going to have the capabilities that the industry is looking for. Then we need to also make sure that dual model of competences are very implemented in every university, because at the end, we finish university, but the companies are looking for how many years of experience do you have? And when we finish education, probably we don't have a lot of experience. It's very important that during academic life, they have been working in real projects that they can show us experience of the students in the industry. And I think we need to prepare the students for the jobs in the future that today do not exist. I think it's very important that we don't know what are going to be the works and the jobs in the future. And more than ever, it's very important to have a global certifications and capabilities with international agreement based on the world has been borderless, and more than ever on the last 18 months, we have been shown that you can be everywhere, working for every country, delivering capabilities for everyone. Then I think it's very important, and we have been working with several ministers of education, ministers of education in Latin America and the globe, and in Asia Pacific. We have been working with NEO in projects in Russia to make sure that students are prepared for these kind of jobs. And then I think it's very important to have this kind of capabilities around the globe, and making sure that we flip the university, we flip the education, we start putting on the way that MITx, edX, or HarvardX have started, that was putting all the material into a platform. Everyone need to study before coming to the class. We come to discuss the real topic and having that experience of the discussion on the real life. And I think that is very important, right? And just to finish that, I think I want to thank everybody for the attention. And here is my email. And I just finished before 15 minutes. And I send the time back to my colleagues in Cypher Learning. And thank you very much for the attention. I will be here for the Q&A.
Thanks, Alessio, to you for this relevant information. I really agree on you, the idea to have global certificates and for global challenges that now they on university. I'm pretty sure that some of the attendees agree on that. So thanks for all this information. And now it's the time for our last guest speaker, our Gina Gavilane. She's the president of Studee. Hello, Gina, how are you?
I am very good. Hola, Jose, and hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. As Jose said, I'm Gina, and I am the president of University Services and the Student Advice Center at Studee. And for over 20 years, I've been passionate about the international education industry. I absolutely love my job. I am currently based in our International Student Advice Center in Ecuador. And from here, we help students to find, apply, and enroll at their dream university abroad. We are on a mission to take students from aspiration through enrollment through an effortless journey. But more than this, we want every student to have the opportunity to broaden their horizons, spread their wings, and push their limits to study abroad. Can you help me with the next slide? That's great. So who we are at Studee, our multilingual advisors help students with more than 180 countries worldwide. We then match these students with one of our 400 over university partners, ensuring that they all meet the entry requirements and find the perfect fit for them. Lots of universities or institutions like yours might be a little bit skeptical about working with international education agents. Perhaps you had a bad experience yourself, or you heard some unscrupulous organizations. However, Studee is a new kind of agent. It's a modern recruitment solution. We want every student to have the opportunity to study abroad, and we're committed to the upholding the very highest industry standards. We've put ourselves through ISEF's strict quality assurance screening to receive our ISEF agency status as well. And our world-class service has not gone unnoticed for students either. Thanks to their tireless work of our student advisors, we've secured a 4.7 star FIFO rating from the students that we have helped. Can you sit with the next slide, please? So one of the things we're most proud of is our ongoing commitment to student-centered recruitment. In fact, our whole business model was founded on this philosophy. Student success and satisfaction is at the heart of what we do at Studee. Next slide, please. So what do I mean by student-centered recruitment? And as I've always alluded already, it's to the processes that put students at the heart of the recruitment journey. It is about matching the student with their ideal university and thereby matching universities with their ideal students. So to do this, you need to take the time to get to know those students, understand their needs, and personalize the process accordingly. It is so much more than a numbers game. It's not about convincing students to study at X or Y institutions because you've got a target to hit. It is actually the art of providing with all of the knowledge and resources and support that they need to make an informed decision and enroll at the university that is right for them. Student-centered recruitment is also an active process. It's not enough to sit back and just assume that the right applicants will come flooding in. You need to promote your programs. You need to generate leads. You need to establish expert teams to chase and cultivate these leads all the way to enrollment. It is about building a relationship with these students. Next slide, please. There's loads of research that point to the benefits of student-centered recruitment. Not only it is recommended, but this article actually says that it's critical for the long-term success of students and the higher education industry. Next slide, please. So why is student-centered recruitment so important? So put it simply, there is no point recruiting students if a few months later they're going to realize they've made the wrong choice and decide to drop out. This is not only disappointing for the students, but universities also lose vital revenue and potential ambassadors. So today, 25% of college students drop out after the first year. And although there may be many contributing factors, lack of institutional match and fit is one of the top reasons. So students want to attend institutions that will help them achieve their academic and career goals. Equally, institutions want students who will excel in their programs and the environment. So taking the time to match a student with an institution that aligns with their beliefs, their goals, their needs, it means they're more likely to complete their degree. And this is good news all around. And secondly, every student has different needs and wants. So adopting a blanket recruitment approach, it's simply won't work. You need to take the time to understand what's important to the students and personalize your recruitment process based on this. You can create a tailored approach that will help students to feel valued and heard, and it will increase the likelihood of a successful enrollment. So it's about building a relationship. You're focusing on that student. Can you help me with the next slide, please? So how do you go about creating a student-centered recruitment experience? It's about putting students' priority at the forefront. What criteria are they looking for in an institution and program? What would they like to do after graduation? What's their budget like? That's an incredibly important question. Are there any countries they really want to study in? Do they have the necessary language skills? And once you've dug into these questions, you can start prioritizing institutions and programs that align with these priorities. You can create a record of the student with as much detail as possible so you know exactly what they're looking for the time you speak next with them. And then research shows that students are far more likely to enroll when they receive a tailored communication, as well as personalizing the content of the communication. It is also worth asking what's their preferred communication channel. For instance, at Studee, we're always asking them if they prefer to use email or they prefer to use a phone conversation. Asking them will show that you really care about being able to assist them and help them and guide them. And an incredibly important thing is about the admissions process itself. This is something that can be daunting, scaring, confusing. That's why maintaining an open dialogue with these students is important. If a student knows that they've always talked to someone and asked the questions, they're less likely to drop off the radar if they've got someone who is caring for them. And finally, you need to treat each student as an individual with a story, goals, and aspirations rather than just a sheet of paper with grades or marks on it. And just because a student meets your entry criteria at your institution, it doesn't mean that it's the right institution for them. So having those conversations at the start of the search process is something that is going to help you eliminate this. Help me with the next slide. So what is an Studee as our pay-as-you-go recruitment service? This is to help you enroll more students, more international students, by finding students looking to study abroad and matching them to your institution. So this might sound straightforward, but we stand out from the crowd and we do things differently. Help me out with the next slide. You might be wondering, how do we help students, right? So preparing students to study abroad can be incredibly stressful and overwhelming for some students. So we make it our #1 priority to walk them through our process step by step. So we give them all the information that they need to find the right university and program for them according to their budget as well. And each of our university partners has a bespoke profile on our website, so it's easy for students to find all of them, right? You're going to get to see information about the courses, the fees, the cultures, extracurricular activities, country, the local area, the housing arrangements that you offer as an institution, so much more as well. And every student that provides their details through our website is given their own personal advisor at our end that is going to help them with any needs that they have. And this includes definitely a breakdown of the application process into understandable bite-sized chunks, helping them get their documents in order, providing them with the latest visa and travel information as well. And again, this is a complete free of charge service for our students. We're always trying to communicate with them through their preferred channel too. For instance, a student, as I've already mentioned, they may prefer phone calls, another one prefer an email or a text. And it's about listening to their preference that help us secure these great engagement rates that we've got. And to wrap up, I just want to reiterate a few points. It's free to promote your institution or your university and programs at Studee. Our results-based model means you only pay a commission or a fixed fee when we deliver a student to you and the student is enrolled. And we've got an amazing team of advisors that support students at every stage of their journey. We never ask students for a payment. So that's it with me. I'm going to share back to Jose, and thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking today. Please do not hesitate to contact me or Tom if you've got any questions. Thank you.
Well, thanks to you, Gina. Thanks to you for this relevant information. I'm pretty sure most of the attendees are interested on these recruiting services. So, so in any case, we'll send a follow-up email with all the email contact details from all the guest speakers today. So don't worry if you couldn't take note of the emails, some of them. We'll send all again. And now it's a time for the questions that you are posting on the chats. Please post this question on the Q&A sections. And I have some questions. Well, most of them have been responded. And I have one for Theo. I'm pretty sure that Theo addressed some of them. Theo, could you reply to Melanie? What kind of specific games or warm-up activities do you think that motivate a student and keep them focused on the class and not get bored? Can you recommend some of them now?
Yes. So thank you, Melanie, for your question. The idea is that I really like using games in my courses, even when I'm working with students, even if they are practically adults, they really get more engaged in the content if they have some game elements that are included in courses. And I've shown you in Neo. For example, what I'm using is the system of gathering points and getting badges for accomplishing things in the course. So for example, if they are going through a video, I can reward them with getting a badge or to getting a certain number of points for that. And I also like to engage them with all the course, and I like to include, for example, Easter eggs in the course, the digital course that I have created for them. So they are just finding random pieces of information in different parts of the course. They have to put it together. And actually, it really shows me that they paid attention to the course because they found that little information that I left there for them. And afterwards, I can just give them a better reward. So for example, if they found all the Easter eggs that contain letters and they have to put up a word from them, and they just message me with that word, and I can give them a reward like, okay, you have 2 more days to work on an essay that you have to submit. So I like to really go further with that gamification part, getting to the reward, because people like to get that part, and it really shows like their effort meant something. So I really suggest that you try out Neo and the game setup that we have there, and just practice with it and play with it. And I really know that you will find the best thing that would work for your students.
Okay, thank you, Theo, for this elaborated answer. Let me also address some of the questions here for in this case for Alexio. Alexio, what kind of recommendation do you suggest to make sure that a student who is in the middle of the university, he realized that it's not having the skills that for the job I'm looking for? Do you have some recommendation based on your services?
Yes, thank you. And also, I think that question is associated with what Christian Paul Zunga is asking about how we can make student-centered when distance learning is currently happening. I think the good about the personalization of education is that you probably have a track of a matrix of courses or training that you need to take during the university career path. But you realize in the middle of that career that probably in your curriculum, those topics that the industry is looking for outside are not part of the thing that you started to study when you choose the career. Then on that way, for example, we have been working with Cypher Learning and edX, where your career probably doesn't have biotechnology on the way that Cambridge has with Pfizer and Moderna and these kind of vaccines going out right now. And you are studying biotechnology, but not those kind of topics. When we have in the middle of the career and you realize that you are not expert on those kind of specifications, you can take a training from those companies or those universities in Cambridge area where these labs are doing biotechnology, and probably you are going to have those skills and you realize 1 year in advance or 2 years in advance before you finish the university. And I think you have enough time to fix the gaps that you will get when you graduate and the things that universities are delivering and the jobs are looking for outside, then you are going to close that gap. And I think that's important. And on the personalized learning thing that we were getting on the chat, on the Q&A, I think more than ever now, because we have delivering we are delivering the class by Zoom or whatever tools we have, and the students can go and put their information on the personalized platform like Neo is today. But you can put the student to go deeper on some knowledge that he wants to get based on his personal capabilities, behaviors, or needs. And also with artificial intelligence, if you know, the platform will know what are your skills, then artificial intelligence will tell you, okay, for example, Olivia, you have this career path and you have been very good on these topics, but you are missing these kind of elements. And it will show to you some trainings or additional capabilities that you need to take from edX, from TED Talks, from whatever tools we can connect to the platform, or even connect you with a tutor or advisor inside the university that has those capabilities. And on that way, that can be more personalized. Even everybody's getting the same quality of content during the class. You can have a special delivery skills based on your personal and interest, personal behavior. And I think that's important because at the end, that education is going to be more personalized, but also you need to deliver the skills that the industry is looking for.
Thank you, Alessio, for that feedback. Really, really complete. I would like to also address another question that came up to my mind during the GINA presentations. You mentioned that you are based in Ecuador, but I'm pretty sure that you have offices also here in Europe, right? Can you elaborate more about your close support to European institutions?
That is correct. Actually, our headquarters for Studee are located in Cirencester in the United Kingdom. It's our product teams, our content team, as well as there our CEO, our COO, and all the technology is built and created around in Cirencester. Ecuador has their student advice center.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And I have another question from Chris. I'm not sure who this question is addressed to, but probably to Gina also. Christian asks, how can we increase enrollees who are decided with their courses in this time of new normal education? I don't know if
Happy
Christian
to,
is
yes. Yes, Christian, thank you so much for that question. That's an incredibly interesting question. I truly believe in the power of making a connection with the student. And as I was mentioning, is understanding what their needs are in this new kind of normal, if that's what we want to call it. We need to be able to provide a lot of reassurance to these students, so we do know what their needs is. Are they looking to come in and to study on campus? Are they looking to study online? Are they looking to do a blended program? So increasing your enrollments will very much depend on how you're communicating with the student, the type of information. Is it a reassuring information saying you can come into campus, or you can do a blended program, or you could do online? And this is all taken part through with the advisors. So it's incredibly important that the advisors, if there are any advisors here, make sure that you do pay attention to what the student needs are, be able to guide them through what is best for them, right? What could be best for us as an institution is not necessarily what's best for the student. So with that, it is about building a relationship and making sure that you plan ahead with the student. It might be that their year one is not the same as what they're planning to do on year two. There is a lot of students that are a bit hesitant to traveling, so they might be able to start online, and then if they can continue their program on campus and they can do so at year two, then be able to provide that information and all the options that the students have.
Okay, thank you so much, Gina. And as we are running out of time, I'm not sure if there are some very last minute questions. I don't see more questions in the chat. There are some questions related to the Philippines. We can follow it up because we are basically based in Europe, so trying to address all the questions from this part of the world, but we will follow up that question, Andrea, don't worry. And Christian has another interesting question. What advice can you give to seasoned teachers who are having difficulties coping with the trends and demand of distance learning, particularly on online class? I feel like Tio can give some advice on that.
I think the first thing that comes into my mind is just a bit of patience, and then just try to take in good case practices. So this is the best thing that I think teachers do and should do further on. Just go into communities in which you can take some good case practices that you can apply in your school and with your classes. And another thing would be, because we just talked about automation, I really think that it will help you to be less stressed if some of the actions that you're already doing are automated. So if you have created already some courses online, you can just reuse some of the elements, some of the parts of the quizzes that you already have, some structures, some processes. Try to reuse that part, because actually it will be a lot easier for you in introducing distance learning online classes into the way that you have been teaching for a few years now. So I think this would be just a way of starting with getting better through the idea of doing online classes.
Well, I totally agree with Christian's feedback about your response here and other speakers' response. This is really substantial and remarkable. I feel like we are running out of time, so I just want to, from my side, congratulate you for the information and for the time being. I know that it's summertime, most of the people are taking a holiday, so thanks for your time in this special moment of the year. I really enjoyed. I hope most of the attendees find it also interesting in terms of the topic, in terms of the services that we can provide from now on. Don't worry if you couldn't copy the email, the contact details from Gina, Tio, Alessio. We will share a follow-up email with all the information, so feel free to reach them out after this webinar. And I hope you find interest and content. We can follow up this webinar with a more close one-to-one call or demonstration of some of these services. From my side, I really appreciate all the attendees to be here on this evening. I hope you find the interest, and all the best from NEO, from our partners, I mean, Dell, Studee, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the summertime. Have a nice day, or evening, or morning, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.